Welcome back to Simple English Daily. I'm Emma.
And I'm Mark. Today we've chosen a really practical topic that everyone needs in daily life. Restaurants.
Whether you travel, study abroad, or simply want to sound more natural in English, restaurant language is super useful.
In this episode, we're going to talk naturally about restaurant English, helpful phrases, cultural tips, real examples, and mistakes to avoid.
So sit back, relax, and let's get started.
So, Emma, why do you think restaurant English is such an important topic for learners?
Honestly, because it's something everyone experiences. No matter where you live, you'll eventually go to a cafe or a restaurant.
Exactly. And restaurants are full of real-life English, asking questions, making requests, describing food, being polite.
And what I love is that restaurant English teaches you soft, natural language, not the stiff, textbook expressions.
Yes, because in real life, people don't say, I require water.
Never! They say, "Could I have some water, please?"
And that's the key. Learning how to ask politely makes you sound much more native.
And it also makes your experience smoother. You get better service, better communication, and less stress.
So today we want to break everything down step by step, from entering the restaurant all the way to paying the bill.
And of course, we'll give you lots of examples that you can actually use. All right, let's start from the very beginning. Entering the restaurant. This is the first moment when you need English.
Yes, and it's actually one of the easiest places to sound natural if you know just a few key phrases.
For example, when you walk in, the host usually asks,
Do you have a reservation?
"Do you have a reservation?"
Completely standard. You will hear this everywhere, from casual cafes to fancy restaurants.
And if you don't have a reservation, don't worry. A very natural answer is, "No, we don't. Is there a table available?"
Or the shorter version, do you have a table for two?
Simple, clean, and native.
Sometimes the restaurant is busy, especially on weekends. So another super useful question is, how long is the wait?
Yes, that one is so important if you don't want to stand there forever.
And if the wait is too long, you can leave politely by saying, Thanks, we'll come back another time.
Soft, friendly, and respectful. Perfect English. There's also the request for a seating preference, something many learners forget.
Yes, like when you want to sit by the window or in a quiet corner.
You can simply say, "Could we sit by the window?"
Or, is it possible to sit in a quieter area?
Very natural. Very native.
And using could or is it possible makes everything sound more polite. So after you sit down and get comfortable, the very first question you usually hear is, Can I get you something to drink?
Yes, this is basically the universal opening line in restaurants. And the best, most natural way to respond is, "I'll have..."
Right, not I want, not give me. Those sound a bit rude or too direct.
Exactly. "I'll have" is polite, friendly, and super natural.
Let's give some examples listeners can repeat.
"I'll have some water, please."
I'll have a lemonade.
"I'll have an iced tea."
I'll have a cappuccino.
And sometimes you want something more specific. For example, "Could I get freshly squeezed orange juice?"
That's perfect. Notice the phrase, could I get, which is soft and polite.
We should also mention still and sparkling water, because many people get confused.
Yes, if you want normal water, you say, still water, please.
And if you want fizzy or carbonated water, "Sparkling water, please."
Another good expression is refill.
Oh yes. If you finish your drink and want more, you can say, "Could I get a refill, please?"
Very natural, especially in American restaurants.
And one more important thing, politeness.
Yes, if you say water or give me water, it sounds rude.
But if you say, "Could I have some water, please?" it sounds friendly and native.
Same words, different tone. Totally different impact.
All right, now let's talk about the menu. Probably the part where most English learners feel a little nervous.
Yes, because menus can sometimes look confusing. Lots of fancy words, cooking styles, and ingredients.
Exactly. But the good news is, once you understand some basic terms, everything becomes much easier.
So let's break it down.
Let's start with cooking methods because they appear everywhere.
Right. For example, grilled, cooked over direct heat, usually on a grill. Baked, cooked in the oven. Fried, cooked in oil. Roasted, oven cooked, usually browned. Steamed, cooked with steam, healthy and light. Sautéed, cooked quickly in a small amount of oil.
If you know these words, 70% of menus suddenly make sense.
Exactly. And here's a great phrase if you're unsure about a dish. What exactly is this dish?
Such a good question. Short, simple, and supernatural.
Or you could say, how would you describe this?
Perfect for when the menu uses fancy restaurant language. Let's also review the meal categories. Starter or appetizer means the small first dish. Main course or entree means the big dish. Side dish means extra food like fries, rice, or salad. Dessert means sweet dish at the end.
And in many restaurants, the waiter might ask, are you ready to order?
And if you need more time, the most natural response is, we need a few more minutes.
Exactly. Not wait, not no.
Yes, polite language is everything.
Another important part is asking questions before you order.
For example, is it spicy?
Is it vegetarian?
Does it contain nuts?
Is this dish gluten-free?
All very useful, especially if you have allergies or strong preferences.
Now, when you're ready to choose, the best structure is, I'll have the...
Yes, this works in every situation.
Let's give examples.
I'll have the grilled chicken.
I'll have the vegetable pasta.
I'll have the roasted salmon.
Short, natural, native. Now let's move to one of my favorite parts, making polite requests.
Yes, because restaurants are the perfect place to practice natural, polite English.
Exactly. And the good news is, English has some very simple patterns you can use everywhere.
The most common and safe structure is, could I have?
Or, could we get?
These two phrases alone can handle almost anything.
Yes, from asking for more water to extra napkins. Examples. Could I have some water, please? Could we get another plate? Could I have a little more bread?
Now, if you want to sound very natural, like a friendly native speaker, you can add a soft opener.
Something like, when you have a moment.
Or, whenever you get a chance.
Let's put them in full sentences.
When you have a moment, could we get the dessert menu?
Whenever you get a chance, could I have some more water?
These sound extremely polite and warm.
And waiters love this kind of tone.
Sometimes you need help deciding.
Or maybe you want a recommendation, and this is a great opportunity to sound natural.
For example, what do you recommend?
Or, what's popular here?
And my favorite, which dish would you suggest?
These are friendly and make the conversation smoother.
Small requests happen all the time. More napkins, another fork, more sauce.
Yes, and the pattern stays the same. Could I get?
Could we have? Examples. Could I get some extra napkins? Could we have a little more sauce? Could I get a clean fork, please?
Many learners accidentally sound too direct.
Yes. For example, saying, give me water is grammatically correct, but it sounds rude.
The polite version is, could I have some water, please?
These small changes make a big difference.
And you instantly sound more native.
Now let's talk about something that happens to everyone sooner or later. Small problems in a restaurant.
Yes, and honestly, this is the part many learners feel nervous about. They don't want to sound rude or aggressive.
Exactly. But the truth is, you can complain politely, and native speakers do it all the time.
And the key is simple. Start gently.
Let's share some very common and polite openers. Excuse me,
I'm sorry, but
sorry to bother you.
these three openers already set a polite tone.
Now let's look at realistic examples people use every day.
Yes, and listeners, try repeating after us.
Excuse me, this is a bit too salty.
Excuse me, I think this isn't what I ordered.
I'm sorry, but could this be warmed up a little?
Sorry to bother you, but this drink tastes a little different.
Notice something important. We're not attacking anyone.
Yes, we're not saying, this is bad, or you made a mistake.
We're just describing the situation softly.
And usually, the waiter will offer to fix the problem.
They might say, "Let me take care of that," or "I'll bring you a new one."
So there's no need to panic. Restaurants are used to this.
Sometimes you don't want anything replaced. You just want to mention it.
Yes, this is a great point.
In that case, you can say, "It's okay, I just wanted to let you know."
Very soft, very polite.
Another situation is waiting too long.
Yes, maybe your food takes 40 minutes.
A polite way to ask is, "Excuse me, do you know how much longer it will take?"
Much better than saying, where is my food?
Yes, that sounds angry.
But, do you know how much longer it will take? Is polite and still clear. All right, we've ordered, we've eaten, we've handled any little problems. Now it's time for the final part of the restaurant experience, paying the bill.
Yes, and this is another moment where polite language really matters. And cultural differences can be surprising.
Definitely. So let's start with the most common sentence.
The waiter won't bring the bill unless you ask for it.
Yes, especially in Europe where they never rush you.
So the most natural way to ask is, "Could we have the check, please?"
Or the British version, could we have the bill, please?
These two words, check and bill, are basically the same, just regional differences.
And if you want to be a little softer, when you get a chance, could we have the check?
Lovely. Sounds very native. Now, sometimes people want to pay separately, and this is super common with friends.
Yes, and the easiest way to say it is, can we split the check?
Or if everyone wants to pay their own part, "Can we pay separately?"
And the waiter will usually ask for details like, who had the pasta?
These days, most people pay with a card.
Yes, and the typical question is, can I pay by card?
Or, "Do you take card?"
Very simple, very common.
This part really depends on the country, so let's explain it clearly.
In the United States, tipping is basically required.
Yes, usually between 15% to 20% of the total bill.
In the United Kingdom, tipping is optional but appreciated, around 10%.
In many European countries, a service charge is already included in the bill.
So always check the receipt. If it says service included, you don't need to tip more.
After you pay, it's nice to end with a friendly comment.
Something like, thank you, everything was great.
Or, "Thanks so much, have a great night."
These small sentences make a big difference in how you sound.
And finally, when you're leaving, a simple, "Bye, thanks again."
Works everywhere.
Polite, natural, warm.
Perfect way to end the meal.
Now let's move into some quick practice. We'll say short, natural conversations, and you can repeat after us.
Yes, repeat the sentences with the same tone and rhythm. It really helps with fluency.
Hi, do you have a table for two?
Yes, right this way. Can I get you something to drink?
Yes, I'll have a lemonade, please. How spicy is this dish?
It's mild, not too spicy. Could we get some extra napkins?
Of course, I'll bring them right away. Excuse me, this is a bit too salty.
I'm so sorry. I'll fix that for you. Could we have the check, please?
Sure, I'll bring it right over. These mini dialogues are perfect for daily practice. Listen again, repeat, and try using them the next time you're in a restaurant.
The more you repeat them, the more natural your English becomes.
All right, before we finish, let's quickly summarize what we covered today.
We started with the basics: how to enter a restaurant and ask for a table.
Then we talked about ordering drinks and sounding polite with natural phrases like, I'll have, and could I get?
After that, we explained menu vocabulary: grilled, baked, roasted, steamed, and how to understand restaurant terms.
We also showed how to ask questions about ingredients and preferences, and how to choose your meal politely.
Then we covered polite requests, everything from extra napkins to recommendations.
And of course, we talked about handling problems politely without sounding rude.
Finally, we explained how to ask for the bill, tipping culture, and how to end your restaurant experience naturally.
A complete guide to real, everyday restaurant English.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode of Simple English Daily.
Thank you for spending this time with us. We hope this conversation helped you feel more confident using English in restaurants.
Remember, natural English comes from practice, not perfection.
Listen again, repeat the sentences, and use them in real life.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow the channel for more daily English practice.
Thanks for listening.
See you next time.
Bye.